Welcome everyone back to Beat the Game. This is Steve and it's another edition of Beyond the Precon. And today you dove in, you decided to invest in your first hero pack, and the one you chose was Captain America. Well, Captain America was one of the first hero packs to be released after the core set, and it is phenomenal. Now, there's a bunch of things that make Captain America amazing, and we're going to dive into this in just a second. But before that, if you guys like these videos, please encourage me by putting a thumbs up and just leave a comment on the video, what you think about it, what you like about these videos. Yeah, just like that. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me motivated to keep on doing more. All right, that being said, let's, without further ado. All right, Captain America, Steve Rogers in alter ego form has a hand size of 6'11". He has this really cool ability called Living Legend. Now, I just want to clarify something because maybe you haven't figured this out or maybe you didn't know. But one of the cool thing about Living Legend is it is a static ability. Now, what does that mean? So that means if I'm the first player and I don't play an ally and I flip to hero form, that ally reduction is going to remain until somebody plays the first ally in the round. Now, it's the same in if you go to, you're in hero form and you go to ally. If nobody's played an ally this round, then yes, you get the rebate. So what's great about this in solo is as long as you don't play an ally while you're in hero form, you can flip down and reduce the cost of the ally you're going to play. So that is very, very fun and cool. All right, so that's something that we do. The great thing about Steve Rogers, he's always equipped with his shield. So he's got that setup ability to go get his shield, which is great. Now, what sucks is sometimes you will draw into the shield and then you will lose that extra card. So, but that is things that happen. So setup happens after, it happens after the mulligans resolve. So after you've discarded cards. So that's a little interaction that's important to know. Now, when we flip to hero form, Steve Rogers becomes Captain America with 5 hand size, 2 thwart, 2 attack, and 2 defense. And he has a nice ability that says, I can do this all day. If you saw the Hawkeye TV series, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so technically he has a hand size of 5, but if you want to do this all day, you will have to discard a card, effectively reducing his hand size to 4. But at least you get already out of that hand size. All right, now let's take a look at some of the cards that make him unique, and then we'll dive into the precon. All right, some of the key cards that make Captain America unique is, first of all, his shield. All right, and that gives him a +1 defense and retaliate, which is very solid. So this is something that you almost always want to put down on turn 1 to be able to get that retaliate and that plus defense, which means you might want to defend a few attacks from the boss in the beginning. The next cards that make him pretty awesome is the Super Soldier Serums, and he's got 2 of these upgrades that generate a physical resource, which is very good because he can use him, because it says resource and not hero resource, he can use it in Steve Rogers, as Steve Rogers, or he can use it as Captain America, which is very, very cool. Then he comes with a bunch of other cards. These ones are more thematic and they're cool to have them down, but they're not a priority card. Steve's Apartment, if you are planning on going on an alter ego a couple times during the game, this is always fun because it heals you for 1 and draws you a card, which is very cool. And his helmet, probably something that we most likely never play, but this is a card that you should play, especially if you're facing off against a new scenario and you never know, like you might get attacked twice in a row and then, oh my God, you die, but you wouldn't die. So you might want to like, okay, I'm just going to take the big hit from the boss and then I'll be like, I'm just going to discard this helmet, go to 1, and then I can finish the boss next on my turn. So this is an extra life. So this is not to be not to be ignored. It's a good upgrade. All right, aside from that, he's got a bunch of events that make him super awesome. And the great thing about these events is they're mostly free. So the 2 shield blocks, which is super thematic, means that when you would take any amount of damage, you can exhaust the shield to prevent all of that damage. Now, with the new rulings for defense, there was a new post that was put up that says a shield block can now defend against damage not from an attack. So that is very, very cool. And it also counts as defending. So I'm giving you an example, the mutagen formula, the risky business scenario where Norman Osborn flips and deals like 4 damage to each, 4 indirect damage. You can shield block that 4 indirect damage now, and before you couldn't. So that is very cool new thing. The other awesome card is Fearless Determination. He's got 2 copies of that too, which give him a +1 thwart, which makes him very cool if you're playing a scenario with some high schemes. Now he can thwart for 3 and do that twice. That's awesome. He can go up to 6. And he's got another cool card called the Shield Toss. Now this card is kind of interesting and it's special, and there is something we have to talk about. Because it's an action and it is an attack, okay? That means anytime that there is a guard minion in front of you, you cannot target the boss. So let's say you have a guard minion, another minion, and the boss, and you want to discard 3 cards. You can't. You can only discard 2 cards targeting the minion and the guard, because this is an attack that happens all at the same time. When I started playing it, I was doing it wrong. I was saying, I'll kill the guard, I'll kill this guy. Like mentally, like in my head, I was like, well, it's a shield, it's bouncing around. But the way the game is designed is it's an attack that happens simultaneously. So it's attacking everything at the same time. That is why if there's a guard, you are blocked. But that's okay. It happens. All right, and then he's got 3 of the most powerful cards in the game. Why? Because he is a hero that has access to 3 cards that can stun an enemy, which are his heroic strikes. That is why he seems so powerful. Not only that, they also give you the generators to produce that physical resource to deal 6 damage to an enemy and stun him, which is fantastic. And then finally, he's got his cool ally, Agent 13, Love Interest, which is a response, and after she enters play, you remove 2 threat from a scheme, which is pretty darn cool. And she can cost only 2, so that's pretty fun, and she can thwart for a bunch. All right, so that's it for his hero kit and what makes him special. Now let's take a look what he comes in with the Precon. All right, so his Precon comes with a bunch of reprints, obviously the powers of, the doubles, but now he comes in with a couple of cool cards. The first one is Honorary Avenger, Avenger's Tower. He comes with 3 new Avenger allies, which is Wonder Man, Squirrel Girl, and Falcon. It comes with the Avenging Quinjet, which is, and I'll talk about the Quinjet in a second, but my least favorite card of his kit. And then he's got 3 strength in numbers that really focus on using allies as resources, and Avengers Assemble, which is a finish card. And then we got more reprints with the Make the Calls, Hawkeye, and Mockingbird. All right, so the first thing, let's talk about the Precon strategy. Very easy. This deck is all about putting down some allies, using strength in numbers, drawing more cards into an Avengers Assemble, untap everyone, and then go in with a massive attack. That is how the deck is supposed to run. And then you can defend, and then you can ready and have all your +1 stats with the Avengers Assemble. Again, super strong. Now, the Quinjets are the weakest card. So if I'm going to upgrade this Precon just with the leadership cards available, the first 3 cards I'm going to remove. And not saying they're a bad card, but let me explain why the Quinjet, I feel, is a bad card. So first of all, you have to spend 1 resource plus this card. So technically it costs 2 resources to play this down. Then on turn 1, it does nothing because there's no allies that cost 1. So then on turn 2, then you can put a 2-cost ally. So you have to put Squirrel Girl from your hand into play because it has to be an Avenger from your hand. So that's why, or Wonder Man. So you're like, oh, well, my guys are already on the table. All right, I'm going to wait till I get to 4. So that's, if you're waiting to get to 4, that means you're waiting 5 turns. It's 5 turns before this becomes effective. So for me, that's why it's really slow. Most of the time, by turn 5, you're already closing out the game. This is not really going to help it. So these Quinjets, I'm not saying there's not a room for them in a multiplayer game. When you're, against a difficult scenario that's going to last a little bit longer, then yes, this is pretty cool, because at one point you just kind of put it on the table. You can deck thin, just let them grow, and then at one point, oh, there, I got Falcon. There you go. I'll play him for free. And then, but again, the value of it's very, very slow. So that's why this would be my first cut from his Precon. The next things I would cut from the Precon, I would 100% remove one Avengers Assemble. The reason for is this is an endgame card. You have to find your allies. So having 3 in the deck, it's okay. But you need to have Avenger allies. So for me, having 2 in the deck is fine. The next one I would cut is Make the Call. I would cut one of these. The reason why Make the Call is a great card, but the only ally I really want to bring back over and over in his Precon is Hawkeye. Why? Because every time a minion comes into play, he's got 2 free damage with his arrows. So that means I don't even have to use him. I can use him for my strength in numbers and not really have to bother. So just having one Make the Call on him if he's in play, and then obviously if I've used up a couple arrows, then I can block with him and then bring him back with Make the Call. So this could be interesting. So there you go. And so these are like 5 cards that I would remove from the Precon. I would keep Mockingbird. It's a free stun. You know, why not? It allows you to do other stuff with Captain America. So these are the 5 cards I would cut. Now, the 5 other cards I would put in is I would focus on what this deck wants to do. It's drawing cards. So I would add Maria Hill. I know she's not an Avenger, but she is pretty darn good anyway. I would then add Nick Fury to draw more cards as well. And then finally, I would add Vision. Vision, why? Because Vision is just awesome. So why not add Vision? Vision is just good. And he's an Avenger. So with the Avengers Tower, now I can have 4 Avengers, even though I have 5. So obviously, I'm going to want to add one more card. I'm going to add a Triskelion to my deck. So now I can have 5 Avengers. So the trick is with these honorary Avengers, you can put Maria Hill down, and then at one point you can make her an Avenger. And then you just cycle through one of those and draw more cards, and then Avengers assemble and then do a massive attack. So there you go. At one point, Nick Fury is not even going to be worth playing anymore because you're going to have all of your cards set up. All right, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. And the last card I would add is a Tenacity. Why? Because Tenacity is pay 2 to ready by spending a physical. Captain America already gives you 2 cards that give you a physical. So why not get another activation, especially after you've Avenger assembled? So this is how I would upgrade Captain America's Precon just using the core cards available to you. All right, now I'm going to propose another deck. I'm going to propose a protection deck. Again, just using the core cards and the cards available with Captain America. And after that, I'm going to propose 3 hero packs that are going to really bring the Captain America strategy up to the next level. All right, so the deck I propose to you for protection is Captain America can really do this all day. So this is going to have 3 times the card Tenacity, because again, having that ability to ready for a physical when you have those 2 super soldier serums is going to make that super easy to play. We have an enhanced reflex, an enhanced awareness. Jesus, I can't talk anymore. And this is a bonus card that comes in the Captain America pack. So this is one of the bonus cards that you get from his hero pack. And this is going to go great with Black Widow. So I'm always going to use this mental resource if I need to cancel a nasty treachery. I got 2 honorary Avengers. One is going to be for myself. The other one is going to be for Black Widow to give her a maximum of 3 health, which means she can thwart for 4. And then I can start healing her with a med team and then just keep her there. And then she can just be useful even though I'm not using her to save for a nasty treachery. All right, so these 2 honorary Avengers. Then we have more upgrades. We have our 3 Indomitables, which means after we defend, we get to ready. Plus, it's cool because it has Captain America on it. So these are cards that we can use if we have a good play that we want to do, and then we want to ready, or else we can just kind of deck thin and just keep those there until we absolutely need them. And then we're armored vest. Obviously, we can go up to a 4 defense, which means we're barely going to take any damage when we defend. We got an Avengers Mansion and a Harley Carrier for support cards. And then we have Luke Cage, who comes in with that tough. We have Nick Fury, who draws us more cards or deals damage. Black Widow, who cancels treacheries. And then we have our med team to heal Black Widow whenever we need. We have 3 counter punches, so even though we are defending, we have our retaliate damage, and then we can deal 2 extra damage with a counter punch. If we are stunned, we can use a counter punch to get rid of our stunned, which is awesome. We have 2 get behind me's. If we don't have Black Widow, we have ways to cancel a treachery just by taking an attack. Again, if we get attacked, we get to retaliate. We might get to counterpunch. We get to ready. So there's always some good benefits from there. And then we have the 3 double resources. And then we have a power of protection because we have a few cards that cost 2. So and it's a wild. So if ever I need it for something else, for a physical or for a mental, to pay for Black Widow. So that is the deck in a nutshell. This is Captain America can really do this all day in protection. So I thought that was interesting to offer you a cool little deck build like this. Now let's go take a look at some of the hero packs. So I hope this has been there long enough so you can take notes. I'm not going to put all these decks in CDB. If you like them, just take notes. You can create it in CDB yourself if you like it. But yeah. All right. And then let's move on to the 3 hero packs that I highly recommend to be your next purchases if you really want to increase Captain America's deck potential. All right, if you are only going to buy 1 hero pack to increase Captain America's potential, it would be the Ant-Man pack. Ant-Man comes with so many good things, it is bonkers. All right, so some of the awesome key cards that are coming in out of Ant-Man's deck is, first of all, Team Building Exercise, which allows you to play cards that share a trait with your identity in hero form. So a soldier, Avenger, you'd be able to play cards like that. And then play them from your hand. You can even play them out of turn. Oh man, you have Squirrel Girl. All right, yes, perfect. Oh, this guy, all these minions have tough. I'm stuck. All right, wait. I'll Team Building Exercise, put in Squirrel Girl from my hand. She'll deal 1 damage and remove all the toughs. Awesome sauce. Perfect. That's great for team if you're playing as a team. So because it's a hero action, you are allowed to play stuff out of turn. Amazeballs. This also helps with the Super Friends strategy for allies, where now your allies can have more health, and now they can also deal some damage every time they activate. It also comes with some really powerful allies like Ant-Man, Stinger that doesn't count towards the ally limit, Ronin and Giant Man who can really benefit from the Super Friends strategy. And also Moxie. So if you are going to be flipping back and forth between Alter Ego and hero form, Moxie gives you +1 thwart, +1 attack, +1 defense, kind of like your Heroic Intuition, but for all 3 stats. But you need to be changing forms. And then one of my favorite cards with Captain America is Assess the Situation. You're like, why? Well, when I want to do a big shield toss, sometimes I'm like, oh man, there's like 6-7 minions on the table, but I only have a hand size of 5. Well, by playing cards like Assess the Situation, you get to increase your hand size +1. So that's pretty fun, but it takes a little bit of know-how how to play with those. And then it also comes with 3 super exciting bonus cards like Moment of Triumph. When you overkill something, you get to heal, Lay Down the Law, and also Muster Courage that places toughs on multiple characters. So these are all great cards from the Scott Lang Ant-Man pack. This is choice number 1 if you're going to increase Captain America. Now, the other 2 packs, it's not a pack. It's actually campaign boxes. So, and Kennedy Hawk is going to be happy that I'm going to highly recommend this one. I'm going to highly recommend the Rise of the Red Skull. Why? Because Hawkeye's there. Not because Hawkeye, but yes. But because it offers some really amazing cards for leadership. Now, this one in particular is my favorite. It's Earth's Mightiest Heroes that allow you to use your allies as resources, which is kind of what the deck wanted to do in his Precon. So it allows you to exhaust an Avenger to ready an Avenger. So that means Captain America has another way to do this all day. So that's pretty cool. And then it comes with all other upgrade strategies for allies, like the Sky Cycle that allows you to use an ally twice. Team Training that increases the health of all the allies. And then it comes with 5 really powerful allies like Hawkeye, Black Knight, US Agent, Goliath, and War Machine. So that is the second thing I would buy if you really want to increase the potential of Captain America and the leadership strategy. And then finally, it's going to be the Mad Titan Shadow. And the reason for that is Spectrum's deck. Spectrum gives us some really new cool synergies with allies. It gives us the Band Together, which is the more allies you have, the more cards, the more this card generates resources. So that's pretty cool. One thing to be careful for, this card has no printed resources. So if ever you are playing Iron Man with this card, Pepper Potts cannot generate anything because there's nothing printed on this. Just a little FYI. But it also gives a card called Mighty Avengers. So this is our first team card that says if all of your allies are Avengers, then all of your allies get +1 thwart, +1 attack, which is super strong. And it gives us a crazy cool attack card, which is Mass Attack, which instead of just drawing cards with your allies, you can actually deal some big damage. So with Mass Attack, you can exhaust 3 allies that share a trait and deal X damage to an enemy, where X is the total attack of those allies plus your hero. So this one, you're not exhausting your hero, you're exhausting the 3 allies to do extra damage. So that's pretty cool. And also it introduces 2 cool new allies with White Tiger and Kalu that make you draw and search for cards. So there you go. So these are my top 3 picks. So in conclusion, guys, Captain America, super fun hero to play. Very thematic design. What's great about Captain America is if you are a new player, he is very straightforward and easy to pilot. You know what you want to do. He's got great resources to do pretty much anything that you set your mind to. You want to block a lot, you can block. You want to thwart a lot, you can thwart a lot. You want to punch a lot. There's everything in his kit will help you do what you want to do best. And this is why Captain America is a fan favorite for a lot of folks. All right, guys, without further ado, keep on playing with Marvel Champions. Stay tuned next week for Ms. Marvel, my favorite character in the game. So I hope this video of Beyond the Precon will help you play the game so that you can one day beat the game. Ciao, ciao.